Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zhaafirraihannur. I am a student from Aranri State Islamic University, Faculty of Science and Technology. So today I will review the journal. The title is Deep Learning for Aspect-Based Sentiment Analysis on Indonesian Hotel Reviews. This journal written by Zhaafirraihannur, Thomas Hattafudoli, and Ahmad Fatan Hidayatullah. Okay, so let's just discuss in the first part here about abstract. Tourism is one of the fastest growing industries. Also, tourism is an industry that is the key to a country's economic growth. The travelers book hotels and share their experiences using travel e-commerce sites. To improve the quality of products and service, we can take advantage by analyzing their reviews. We can see the good and the bad thing reviews in every aspect of the hotel. However, researchers do analyze sentiment in every aspect using Indonesian hotel reviews is still relatively new. The researchers propose to create an aspect-based sentiment analysis or ABSA using Indonesian hotel reviews to solve the problem. This research consists of 4 steps. First is collecting data, 2 pre-processing, 3 aspect classification, and 4 sentiment classification. The classification process compares with 8 deep learning methods, which are RNN, LSTM, GRU, CNN, CNLSTM, and others. In aspect classification, here have 6 classes of aspect, which are price, room, location, service, and restaurant. In sentiment analysis, the researchers compare 2 scenarios to classify sentiment as a positive or negative. The first one is to classify sentiment in all aspects, and the second one is to classify sentiment in every aspect. The results show that LSTM achieve the best model for aspect classification with an accuracy value. The results show that the CNN models get an average accuracy score of 0.904. For sentiment classification, the experiments show that classified sentiment in every aspect achieve a better result than classified sentiment in all aspects. Okay, next we will discuss about introduction. The travelers share their experience is an online platform or so-called user-generated content or UGC. UGC is an online platform for giving ratings and reviews of a product from customer. The reviews are considering to be able to provide indirect experience to other customers. A survey by Adi and Quadri state that 93% of people researching by looking at all reviews before choosing a product. Besides the customer side, reviews on UGC also give benefits on the marketing business side. Reviews with positive comment consider helping promotion indirectly, especially when knowing the attribute in every sentiment. And to get this insight of sentiment in every review, this study process proposes to use aspect level sentiment analysis. Aspect level sentiment analysis, or so-called aspect-based sentiment analysis or ABSA, is a type of sentiment analysis that can see all of the sentiment in every aspect. ABSA is done in various ways. In several research, they are using aspect extraction process with POS Tager to extract aspect and opinion word before to classify in aspect and sentiment. Also, in other research, Aspect extraction is not used for the ABSA process because it requires a lot of researches. Other than that, step on sentiment classification in ABSA also can be done in various ways. The researchers solve the sentiment classification in ABSA by classifying all aspect or every aspect. Okay, with the different characteristic of sentence in every language, the ABSA modeling process needs to adjust to the structures of the language used. ABSA in hotel reviews in Indonesian is still relatively new. In this research, the researchers strengthen our contribution by validating the dataset labels by an expert who has worked in the hospitality sector for 2 years, using a larger and balanced dataset than previous studies to improve the accuracy, and classifies data with more general aspect, as like price, hotel, room, location, service, and restaurant. In this classification process, this study uses a comparison of deep learning methods. Although the rule-based model gets almost perfect accuracy, that method requires a lot of researchers. In addition, also provide to deal with the classification process with a large amount data. Okay, next also research method here. Aspect-based sentiment analysis or ABSA is a type of sentiment analysis at the aspect level. In this work, we adapt from the previous study by without using the POS changing process. Here have a ABSA process consists of 4 steps. The first step is to collect data using Selenium WebDriver package in Python. Collect data in our study use scrap technique from hotel reviews like Agoda, Booking.com, Pagi-Pagi, Traveloka, and Ticket.com, which are the 50 most popular travel apps in Indonesia in Google Play Store. The attributes of the hotel aspect that used in this study are price, hotel, room, location, service, and restaurant. After labeling data, the second step is the pre-processing data. The pre-processing data text in this study adopt from our previous study or remove punctuation, remove non-ASCII characters, remove URLs, remove digits, remove white space, lowercase, normalization, stop word, and join negations. The next step is aspect classification. In aspect classification, we have 6 classes. It's like a price, hotel, location, price, restaurant, room, and service. In sentiment analysis, we compare 2 scenarios to classify sentiments as a positive or a negative. The first scenario is to classify sentiment in all aspects, and the second one is to classify sentiment in every aspect. In the first scenario, we use the highest accuracy score for the evaluation results, while in the second scenario, we calculate the average score from all aspects in each model for the evaluation results. The highest score in the 2 experiments compares to get the best results. These classification processes divide the data set into the training data and the evaluation data to create the model. We use Keras package from Python. Okay, here have many deep learning methods. One is recurrent neural network, or RNN, is a type of neural network designed to recognize sequential data for ordinal problems. Long short-term memory, or LSTM, is a modified version of RNN that can handle the vanishing gradient problem using back propagation. And then get recurrent unit. GRU is a modified version of LSTM that can capture long-term dependencies without removing irrelevant information with simpler architecture. And then bidirectional LTSM or BIL LTSM is an improvement from the LTSM model that can handle the conceptual information from the future token. And the attention built LTSM is a combination of the attention layer and BI-LTSM model. CNN is a deep learning algorithm that commonly used in a computer vision and image processing like image classification, object detection, and others. CNN LTSM is a combination of CNN layers to extract the feature on input data and LTSM layers to support sequence prediction. CNN-BI LSTM is a type of neural network that combining CNN and BI-LSTM models. Okay, next about the results and discussions. First is data collecting. In this process, we collect 5,387 reviews by scraping several sites such as Agoda, Booking.com, Pegi-Pegi, Traveloka, and Ticket.com. The data is labeling with price, hotel, room, location, service, and restaurant in aspect, and positive and negative for sentiment classification for the training data. The distribution results show that the aspect and sentiment data have fairly balanced data. Meanwhile, the distribution of sentiment data consists of 2,739 and 2,648 positive and negative data. Okay, next about data processing. Show that the data has many informal languages. This problem can deal with the preprocessing by filter the term of unnecessary things and normalize them to a more uniform sequence. And then in aspect classification, the researchers use some experiments on the architectures and hyperparameters and get the accuracy values in each model are not too much different. LSTM model is then used to evaluate data. The prediction result of our model compares with the actual level of the dataset. In sentiment classification, use two scenarios to classify sentiment to get the best result. The first scenario is to classify sentiment in all aspects, and the second one is to classify sentiment in every aspect. In the first scenario, we train some models with a combination of deep learning algorithm and hyperparameters. From the result, we get the CNN LSTM model as the highest score. In this scenario, we get the average accuracy score in each model are not too different except in the RNN model. The RNN model has the lowest average accuracy. Moreover, the RNN model also has the lowest accuracy score in every aspect. From the result of sentiment classification in every aspect, we also get allocation and price as the highest and the lowest average scores respectively. By comparing the result of the first and the second scenarios, the CNN model in the second scenario performs better than the best result in the first scenario. The first scenario gets more misclassification because some of the words in our dataset labeling with different sentiments in the same words. Next part about conclusion. We propose a comparison of the deep learning model for ABSA. This study performed good result in aspect classification by using 5,387 with price, hotel, room, location, service, and restaurant aspects. From the comparison of deep learning methods, this work found that the accuracy values in each model are not too much different. The result of the experiments show that classify sentiments in every aspect gets a better result than in all aspects. But in the second scenario, the RNN model performs not pretty well. Besides get the lowest accuracy score, then the RNN model also has the lowest average accuracy score in every aspect. The best result in sentiment classification in every aspect show that the CNN model and our CNN model consists of 100 units, 64 batch size, 256 filter, 3 kernel size, and 1 dropouts. The number of misclassification that appear more in the classifies sentiments in all aspects is because some documents have several words with different labels. Okay, so maybe that's enough of my explanation about review this journal. If there is a wrong word, I apologize. I'm sorry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.